Angel Reese thought she could get under the skin of Caitlin Clark, the Golden Girl who's rewriting the record books. Angel Reese tried to shake Caitlin Clark, but little did she know she was poking a bear. This is a masterclass on why you should never underestimate your rival, especially when that rival is Caitlin Clark. But before we dive into the action, let's rewind to the moment that set the stage for this fiery rivalry. Remember when? The 2023 NCAA Finals toward the end of the game. Reese, then playing for LSU, wasn't just celebrating her victory, she flashed her championship ring at Clark and hit her with a "you can't see me" taunt.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Caitlin, can you tell us at the end of the game what happened? There's a lot blown up on Twitter about Angel Reese following you around, pointing to her ring finger and taunting you.
Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line and shake hands.
But fast forward to 2024, and the stage was set for a dramatic rematch. It was Iowa versus LSU, Clark versus Reese. This was no ordinary game. It was a canvas for redemption, and Clark was ready to paint her masterpiece, dominating every inch of the court. Clark shone with a staggering 41 points, 12 assists, and an unbelievable 9 three-pointers, contributing to an astonishing 80% of IA's field goals. The result, a triumphant advance to the Final Four, with LSU players left shell shocked, their faces an array of stunned emojis. In one electrifying play, Clark effortlessly dodged her defender. Reese rushed to assist, only to stretch out an arm in vain as Clark's three-pointer swooshed through the net.
Here's Martin. Clark, again coming off the screens. Clark steps back, fires, you bet!
Times when you just can't avoid talking about length, hand in her face, drains it anyway.
The side of Reese's futile attempt at defense was a stark reminder of Clark's dominance. Meanwhile, Haley Van Lith, after tirelessly chasing Clark all over the court, could only muster an emoji-worthy expression as another of Clark's specials rained down from downtown.
Clark pulls up, another deep one is good!
Caitlin Clark once again dancing with the basketball, seeing it go through the net.
In that moment, the court was a stage for Clark to remind everyone why you never count out a champion. Then came their matchup in the WNBA game. One of their WNBA rivalry was charged with anticipation, not just for the plays or the scores, but for the escalating tensions in the third quarter. Kennedy Carter of the Chicago Sky delivered a stealthy off-ball hip check on Clark, initially dismissed as a standard foul. The gravity of Carter's move prompted officials to escalate the call to a flagrant one, signaling a serious breach of play. Meanwhile, Reese was celebrating what many perceived as an aggressive move against Clark. Later, Reese would claim her actions were merely in support of her teammate, but given the storied rivalry that trailed from their college days, spectators and fans alike were skeptical of her explanation. Was this really team spirit, or was it a jab at her longtime adversary? Despite the harsh play, Clark's response was nothing short of professional. With poise and precision, she sank the free throws awarded from the flagrant foul, contributing crucial points. The game continued to be a nail-biter until the very end, with the fever narrowly edging out the sky. 71-70. Clark's performance was solid and measured 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, raised not far behind. Showcased her ability with 13 rebounds. Game 2 between these two only heightened the electrifying tension that had begun to define their encounters. As the teams faced off again, all eyes were on this matchup that had not only the fans but the entire nation hooked. Clark stepped onto the court ready to prove why she was the Fever's first overall pick. From the opening tip, Clark took control, showcasing her exceptional skills and leadership, effortlessly directing her team's plays. She drove to the basket for an easy floater. Her confidence was clear, stepping up to take critical shots without hesitation. A perfect example of this was when Aaliyah Boston set a solid on-ball screen, providing Clark with just the right amount of space to execute her signature shot with deadly accuracy by midway. Through the first quarter, it was clear. She was in her element, slicing through the defense and capitalizing on every opportunity, quickly racking up 7 points. She was flawless, going 3-4. 3 from the field. However, her influence wasn't confined to just scoring. She played a pivotal role in orchestrating the Fever's offense, setting up her teammates and enhancing the team's overall performance with her visionary playmaking. And as the game progressed, her strategic skill and relentless energy continued to dominate. Picked up from half court, she faced intense pressure from the Sky defense. At one pivotal moment, Reese considered stepping in to help but hesitated, allowing Clark to expertly feed Aaliyah Boston, who cut to the basket for a smooth layup, tying the game at 42 all. But Clark was far from done. Despite being double-teamed, she skillfully maneuvered around a screen set by Boston at the baseline, driving hard to the rim to nudge the Fever ahead with a 2-point lead with less than 10 seconds remaining in the half. Clark decided to take on the entire team as she drove towards the basket. The Sky converged on her without a moment's hesitation. Samuelson drained a three-pointer, extending the Fever's lead to 4,743 as the half came to a close. Entering the third quarter, Clark's hot streak showed no signs of cooling. She skillfully decelerated, creating just enough space to launch a deep shot from downtown, nailing another triple to further energize the Fever. The very next possession saw the Fever's defense forced to turn over the ball, quickly found its way back to Clark. She drives and dishes to Wallace, return the pass to Clark, who then found Boston alone under the basket for an easy 2. Despite the Sky's constant pressure, CC found her way through the defense with an almost effortless grace. Even when defenders were almost breathing down her neck, she found pathways to the basket, a testament to her exceptional skill and composure. However, the game's tone shifted dramatically late in the third quarter. Angel Reese, perhaps frustrated or determined to assert her presence, increased her physicality. Clark drove towards the basket, and Reese, coming up from behind, swung her arm overhead. While it seemed her intention was to block the shot, the move resulted in a hard hit across Clark's face, escalating the tension on the court. However, the drama did little to shake Clark's focus. Returning to the line, she coolly sank 2 technical free throws, pushing the Fever ahead to a 65-62 lead with just under 3 minutes left in the quarter. This altercation, rather than deterring her, seemed to ignite a fiercer determination in Clark. Unfazed, Clark continued to dominate, leading the Fever's offense with exceptional playmaking. Her ability to maintain focus and lead under pressure was evident as she kept orchestrating plays, ensuring her team stayed in command. And as the game entered its crucial final minutes, Marina Maber of the Chicago Sky, who had been a key scorer throughout, looked to create an opportunity using a screen set by Camila Cardew. She aimed to lose Caitlin Clark. However, Clark, showcasing her significantly improved defensive capability, chose not to take the usual route of going under the pick. Instead, she fought over it with determination. Not only did Clark catch up with Ma, but she also timed her leap perfectly to block what Ma had hoped would be an open three-pointer. Seizing the ball from the block shot, Clark quickly switched gears to offense. She initiated a flawless pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, leading to a precise pocket pass to Boston, who completed the play with a smooth layup. For the final nail in the coffin, Clark executed a play that highlights her emerging status as a rising star in the WNBA, receiving a pass and stride. She maneuvered around a screen set by Boston, and without a second's hesitation pulled up from deep. The confidence in her posture and the precision of her follow-through as the ball arced towards the basket were a testament to her growing dominance in the league. When the ball snapped through the net for a 30-footer, pushing the Ever ahead by 7 points with just over 3 minutes to play, the arena erupted in cheers as it has always erupted with her plays in a fitting climax to her already impressive performance. Clark then delivered a laser pass to Smith, who converted it into an layup, sealing the deal for the Fever. This game was a monumental moment for both Clark and the Fever. Their 91-83 victory over the Chicago Sky marked not only their second consecutive win against their Midwest rivals, but also their first back-to-back wins of the season. Each game writes a new chapter in their legacies and in the history of women's basketball, promising more thrills, more drama, and more unforgettable performances. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all the latest in sports history in the making. See you in the next one.
What's up, pessoal? Hoje dá 7 dicas para você bombar a sua build do Instagram e principalmente atrair seguidores qualificados para sua conta. Então fica até o final que com certeza você vai aprender da maneira correta como se faz para crescer sua conta através da build também. Fala pessoal, meu nome é Leandro, do canal Leandro Mentor. Eu trago informações dos Estados Unidos e também estratégias brasileiras para você estar aplicando e fazer dinheiro ou até mesmo crescer sua conta. Eu não vou pedir inscrição e não vou pedir curtida, tá? Durante o período desse vídeo você pode dar, se você achar que você está aprendendo, que foi algo relevante para você, você deixa o seu curtir no momento e também se inscreve para você aprender dicas e hacks extremamente gratuitos e com qualidade para você. Sem mais enrolação, primeira coisa que eu gostaria de saber com você: para que você utiliza o Instagram? Se é para crescer, para você de repente ser um influencer, ou você fazer dinheiro, ou até mesmo comercial ou pessoal.